Hey, greetings to you friends. Harry here. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. What we got is a 2017 W900, Kenworth W900, and we have no blower motor operation. This one is the front blower motor for the cab. This one in particular has a sleeper. No blower operation. Start out by just testing, check the fuses and all, everything's fine. Check power at the blower motor and had battery voltage there, the blower motor, and no ground. And this system here works like a typical HVAC blower motor system in automotive systems. Is they get battery voltage to the blower motor at all times or with key on, and then the ground is controlled through either a resistor or a module of some type. This particular one is a module, and through that ground is how the different speeds are achieved by varying the resistance to ground. So on this particular one, like I said, here on the passenger side to gain access here, this is the blower motor module. I think that's actually what they do call it, a power module, I think. But anyway, to gain access here, take the glove compartment out. There's 4 Phillips screws, and close that thing and you pull it right out. And then what I did is that I pulled this sill panel up, door sill panel. It's Phillips screws. This is like I said, it's a 2017 and it's well taken care of, so it was really easy. Didn't have to dig any dirt up. As you can see, it's all clean, or chisel out the Phillips screw heads or anything. So this came right off, and then I was able to pull this panel right here back some, and to gain access, because right there in that hole, I have a light in there, so hopefully that you can see that good. Right there in that hole is where that module goes. So what I'm going to do right quick, and this is what I use to, I'll tell you what, I'll get the tools right and I'll show you. We're going to put it back in, because I'll show you how I tested it and how to obviously have it out, so I'm going to show you how to put it back in, what tools I used. Okay, all right. All right, here, let's try this. So this is the new module here, and so I've got just a plain old school test light here with an incandescent bulb. I prefer these because I can, over the LEDs, because I can see how bright the bulb glows. And you know, so if I'm checking like resistance to ground or like a voltage drop, I can see a voltage drop through this style light versus the new ones that are LED that just, they're either on or off. So just an old school light. It's gonna, man, there's so many uses for this. There's some things you don't want to use it on, but man, 99.999 whatever, this is going to be a great tool to use. So I have my ground just hooked up here on one of the door hinge bolts, and with the key on, and I actually have the blower motor on low speed right now, and it's working. So this orange wire here is our battery voltage, key on. Okay, and you can see we've got a good circuit there. This yellow wire is the battery voltage that comes out and goes to the blower motor itself, and as you see, that's working fine. Now this white wire goes to ground, and this black wire over here goes to the blower motor. Now like I said, the way every blower motor that I can think of in any automotive application, the way they work is they have battery positive going to the blower motor at all times. The speed is achieved through a resistor or a module. Resistance to ground is, let me say that right. The variable speed of the motor is achieved by resistance to ground, either through a resistor, an old type, or a lot of the new ones are auto systems are controlled through a module. So, and basically it's just toggling resistance to ground to achieve the different speeds. So here on this particular one, this here's our ground. This here's our actually the provided ground to the motor, and then this little gray wire is a it would be a signal wire from the control head. So to check that, a simple way to do it, if you just have a test light here, is now I have to take my test light off of ground and I have to put this part here on to voltage. So what I do is I just take just a tool like this, and I'll get right where I know I have fused voltage. And just be careful here and just use a little common sense. If you touch a terminal or touch this to ground now, it's going to short out, blow a fuse, or maybe damage something. But so here I'm now on battery positive, and if I go here to check ground, you can see that goes to ground. Okay, and this one over here, which is the provided ground, being the blower motor is on low speed, you're going to be careful just to touch that terminal. And I don't think you can see that, but that test light is barely lit. Okay, I mean, it's just barely glowing, and that would be right because we're on low speed, so it's just giving it a little bit of ground to achieve that low speed. And the way that's done is through resistance. So that's why you see all these cooling, these things here are cooling fins, and this is actually in the airflow to keep it cool. So if you watch here, so I can't do it all with one hand, but I'll turn the blower's fan switch speed up to high, and you can watch. Well, maybe I can do it here. Okay, that's on there, and then that's on low. You can see that's the next speed, going higher, going higher, going higher, and that's full fan right there, high speed. So that's how that thing works. Now it's giving the motor through that black wire full ground. So if you were testing this thing and you didn't have any, or you didn't have any blower motor operation, you want to make sure you had battery on this with the key on, battery on this yellow one with the key on, and you want to make sure the white one goes to ground, redundant, and that on fan high, this one here should go to ground on high speed. Okay, full ground. Now, one thing I noticed on this one, with my test light hooked to the conventional way, with my test light hooked to ground there, that if I just do touch this signal wire, I can make the fan work. So I didn't actually have a test for testing this signal. The other day when I diagnosed it, I did put a meter on it, and one of my digital voltmeter, one of my leads was hooked to ground, the other one was hooked to this signal wire, and I had it set on voltage. I didn't get anything, and then I switched it over to ohms, and every time I flipped the switch, you could see the different resistance changes. So once I saw that there was a change happening, I said, well, it looks to me like that's working. At least it's making a change. Now that I have a new one here, I can just, with my test light hooked up conventionally to ground, I can just tap that and I can get full fan speed. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, and everything's working like it should now. I'm gonna go ahead and install this thing and finish this truck up. So let's see if we can get a good angle on that. Let me just say too, it's not terrible, but it's not really a picnic. They've got it really wedged in there. Okay, just like that. There's two of these screws here that are 7mm or Phillips. You won't be able to use the Phillips, I don't think. So what I've got here is a couple 1/4" extensions with a universal 7mm socket. I think I can start this top one here by hand. to run that in a little bit. And it's kind of just there where it's got these little tiny heads. You can't get much bite on with the socket if you're not on there perfect, but you hold everything just right and she'll go. So I want to snug that up just a little. That's good until I get the other one started. Make sure that's in right and everything. Let me give you a little advice while I'm kind of working this thing. Is on this panel here, you just need to pull that thing straight back. Don't pry down, don't, you know, just pull it back toward the back of the vehicle. And there's a couple of clips in there, three I think, and probably could have maybe took something else off to get in here, but you know, why do it if I can get it with just a little bit of finesse, not too much of a struggle. All right, that's all as snug she needs. She's good. And let's see if I can show you these clips here right quick. So there's one of the clips. I don't know. Let me tell you what, let me get that light out of there. And so, kind of hard to see, but there's a clip there. And there's one right there. And then there's another one on down, but we're still hooked in that one. So anyway, I'm gonna push that baby back in there, put this sill plate on, and we're good to go. All right, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, how about smash that thumbs up, give us a like. We appreciate that, and you know, more content to come. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you, friends. Grace and peace to you.